Hey tiny tropical tribe, in this video I'll show you how I've been prepping the tropical garden plants for winter. Cue the jazzy new intro. So I started the winter prep with this enormous leafed colocasia esculanta. I left this tender tropical plant in the ground for as long as possible, simply because I didn't want to stop enjoying those enormous jungly leaves. Fortunately, this also meant that the plant was able to produce multiple young plants from its well-developed root system. I started digging with a fork, but it was no match for the heavy clay that still dominates this end of the garden. Now, with a swift change to a spade, I soon managed to dig out the plant with a good amount of roots. I was happy to see numerous young plants that I could have a go at dividing, but first I needed to cut off those gigantic leaves. I cut each leaf just above the point in the stem that the following leaf emerged, and I'm hoping that this will help the new leaves to grow when I bring the plant out of dormancy next year. I'll clean off the roots and store this colocasia in a cool, dry place all winter now. The plant will completely dry out, and I'll check on it from time to time just to see that it doesn't start to rot. Now, this is the first time I've done this, so fingers crossed it works. Now, these young tropical colocasia plants will be potted up and kept in my parents' heated greenhouse over winter, and I know I'm lucky to have that luxury. Hopefully they will continue to grow and I will have gained several new giant leafed plants for next summer. I don't think anything really adds more of a tropical and exotic feel to a garden than a colocasia plant. I took a quick look at the canna plants, and although the leaves had been burnt by the early frosts, they were still flowering, so I thought I'd push my luck a little longer. However, the frost did make sure that all of the coleus plants had seen their last days in the tiny tropical garden. Fortunately, I'd taken cuttings from all of these already, and the ground was really dry so I could easily pull the plants out. Next on the agenda was moving the Arundodonax variegata. Now, I lived and learned from planting this that it needs space to spread and room to sway in the wind without knocking over other plants. And I've decided to move it to the spot behind where the colocasia was so that it can be more easily contained and supported by the decking structure. It lifted out of the ground really easily, and I managed to keep lots of the new shoots intact. You can see how the clump will keep getting wider if it isn't contained, so planting it up against the fence, deck and the side of the pond will make it much easier to prevent this plant spreading too much. I also took these frosts as a sign to remove the last remaining marigolds and rudbeckia plants that were planted amongst the dwarf fan palm. So the following morning was another beautiful but very cold start to the day, and as I walked down the garden path I saw that the frosts really hit the canna leaves and the flowers again overnight, so now it was definitely time to cut these back for winter. You can see how many divisions I'll hopefully get from these plants next year, but for now I'll just cut back the shoots and I'll cover with a layer of soil to further protect the roots. So I guess that's the first stage of winter prep done. Now if you've got any tips or questions, please comment below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the Tiny Tropical Garden. Cheers for watching.